This is India Tonight. Now, a group of 30 Indian and foreign investors backing online gaming companies have written a letter to the Prime Minister saying that the current proposal to impose 28% GST on online gaming transactions is going to really take the wind out of the sails of the industry. Let's find out exactly what's in that letter. My colleague in Delhi, Sumit, is joining us to walk us through the details. Sumit, what have you learned about this letter that has gone out from the industry to the Prime Minister?
A group of 30 investors, including Tiger Global, ChrysCapital and other major investors in online gaming sector, they have written a letter to Prime Minister Modi of India. They have demanded overall looking into the recent decision of 28% GST on online gaming, the full face value of online gaming. Well, they are of the view that this decision, proposal, it's now and going to go to monsoon session of Parliament. This will, in a way, lead to destruction of the sector. They have also said that this can lead to job loss of 50,000 people. So far, there can be a loss in value of $2.5 billion and $4 billion investments that could have come will not come. This all has been said in the letter. We all know that around a fortnight ago, GST Council meeting had proposed 28% GST on online gaming, full face value of online gaming and casino and horse racing. And since then, the online gaming industry is up in arm against the proposal. And this time, the investors have written this letter to PM Modi seeking a meeting with him. They are also of the view that without this 28% GST, they were doing well, and it could have actually resulted into making India an export hub for the crucial online gaming sector. But this decision has been taken, and it's going to adversely impact them, and that's why they're seeking a rollback. If not rollback, well, PM should even look into the whole matter. Well, that's what earlier also being asked from different ministers, and Rajiv Chandrasekhar, well, he was of the view that they can look into or maybe even can propose it, but it's still so difficult to say. Nothing is going to happen as far as online gaming sector is concerned, and 28% GST on this crucial sector is concerned. But 30 now investors have written a letter to PM Modi, and that's what the latest development is.
Well, for an industry perspective, a stakeholder is joining us. Siddhant Joshi is eSports manager at 8-Bit Creative. Siddhant, good to have you with us. It seems like the industry is up in arms against the Finance Ministry's idea to go ahead with 28% GST levy. You come from an industry and a company that actually supports a lot of gaming talent. Tell us, from your own perspective, how a 28% GST levy is going to hurt and damage the kind of work that you do.
Right. So basically, the industry that we come from, it's a little bit of it's a little different. Like we come from the competitive side of online gaming. We come from an industry called eSports. But yes, this 28% increase on the GST on the online gaming sector, which is a real money gaming sector, does affect us. Could affect us in the future as well. We've been streaming for a while, and people are very confused. Our viewers have been asking us questions about how this adversely affects our industry right now. I've seen the math that Ashneer has showed on his Twitter, and I definitely agree that it's not a great move right now, and it does affect. Like, I have been a casual user of real money games in the past, and it doesn't look great for our sector as well.
The reasons and how you think it's going to adversely affect you.
Right. So we also we are sort of a part of the online gaming sector. We compete. There's no luck-based games that we play, but it's like a sport. But we are very close to the online gaming sector, and it's only a couple of, I think it's due time that our industry, the esports industry, is also going to get regulated and get some recognition by the government. So going close to the online gaming sector, I'm a little worried as to how it will affect us, because we already on the winnings we already pay like a 31% TDS, and I'm not sure, but everybody in the esports industry is a little bit worried about this.
Definition, they have equated games of chance with games of skill. And that perhaps is problematic for the industry as well. You do mention that as far as esports are concerned, some of these are games of skill and not of chance. The equation of these two, how do you think that is going to be taken by the industry now? Because that's one other aspect when it comes to the kind of taxation that they are putting in is going to hurt the industry, because earlier there was on the table this idea that games of skill should not be treated at par with games of chance.
Yeah, I have seen some people in the past try to and comment about, treating both things as the same, like a real money game and esports as on the same level. It's really not, which is why I find it very concerning for the future. Like, people have tried to treat esports. There is no chance of luck. It's all skill based. It's basically a sport. We just call it esports. People, we play, we practice, we work hard. There is no element of chance involved in what we do, what our players do. They range from ages of like 16 to 16 and above. So that's why we have been discussing this for a while now with all the stakeholders in the esports industry as well. Because in the past, in the last 2-3 years, a lot of companies have tried to sort of, take real money and online gaming on the same level, which is why when this news came out, all of our viewers, all of our supporters were very worried, and they kept asking us questions as to how it would affect us. We had to tell them, right now it's not affecting us, but there is a chance in the future where it comes on the same level, and then we're not sure what will happen.
A lot of people are talking about how getting talent, and as far as getting good talent is concerned, that's a problem for most industries. When you talk about a higher taxation at a time that we are talking about the employment needs of the country, they're saying that this is a nascent industry. It can grow and it can employ a lot more people. In its ability to lure people, considering that you work with a lot of gaming talent as well, tell us how they would view this kind of development. You must be having conversations with them. A higher GST levy would also mean that what they take away is going to get affected, right?
Absolutely. I have a couple of friends who are very big stakeholders in the real money gaming sector or the online gaming sector. They have been playing for the longest time. They are certainly worried, and I kid you not, I had one of my friends who was telling me, he's considering moving somewhere abroad so that he can continue working or playing in the sector. So in general, it definitely feels like, as you've seen the math already, you went from a 28 or a 50 rupee pot, you went from 28 rupees to 14 rupees, so almost half your winnings. So it definitely is a worrisome way to move right now. And as I said, I've had a lot of conversations. I hope the government does actually sit down with the stakeholders in the industry and see how the economics work and how it affects the people that are actually a part of this, so that it doesn't die down or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but the government's line has been that those who want to play are going to play nonetheless, and they are going to do it regardless of the kind of taxation that would come into play. Would you agree with that?
I don't think so. I mean, as there is a chance, there's a luck involved. There's a chance of losing my money as well. So if the risk involved is not proportional to like the winnings I get, I don't think people are just going to play anyway. As I said, I was having a conversation with my friend who was speaking about moving out of the country just so that he can continue what he's been doing for the last 3-4 years. He loves doing it. He's done this for a living for the longest time. And he spoke about how you just, go somewhere where this industry is regulated a little bit more properly, and his winnings or his income isn't hurt. So I absolutely do not believe that people who play are going to play anyway. I mean, it's a huge difference. It's not like a very small percentage. It's a huge difference that will make to their winnings now.
Sense of how the gaming industry, the online gaming industry in India is perceived by the world outside. You obviously deal with a lot of them when it comes to talent, of course, but then, of course, we're looking at it from the investment side when it comes to online gaming. You hear the news about what kind of companies are interested in growing the Indian online gaming industry right now. Is that likely to change as well because of the levy that is coming in, which is higher and which is one of the factors that this letter also claims is going to take the industry much longer to grow?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, both of our industries are in the very early stages of growing in India right now. We are at a we're growing really fast, but we are definitely in the early stages of the industry. And it has already started affecting the way it works. And a lot of people, I don't know, I've heard a lot of people backing out, pulling out, thinking about pulling out. So I definitely feel it will affect foreign investors coming in, the way they look at India as a market in general for the online gaming industry. Because we have worked with a lot of companies in the past, not just Indian but also outside of India, and the sector there, both for esports and online gaming, is huge, and India is sort of an untapped market where they have been trying to enter for the longest time. But yeah, the conversations that we've been having, this definitely affect how the international market sees us as like a growth sector.
Context, because in general, we're talking about the startup industries in India, and we're talking about several industries, not just gaming. There has been a funding winter of sorts. At this time, when you're talking about funding for online gaming, that is going to become a challenge. And if that is a challenge, how much of a hit do you think these startups, and perhaps you can tell us from your own perspective as well, in your ability to bring in the kind of funds you need to grow?
Yeah, I mean, we have been also facing the winter, as you said, for the last couple of months. We come from an industry where we are a lot reliant on sponsors and brands and partnerships, and we have been facing that already. As you said, yeah, startups. We are also technically a startup, one of the best in the world. We just won an award 4 days ago, but yeah, we have been affected by this winter already, and this news coming out is super worrisome, because sometimes I feel like some decisions are just not taking into consideration, like the stakeholders, that people that actually work. I honestly feel like the government should sit with some of the bigger players in the scene and figure out how the economics work, because the way it's changed, it just feels like a little absurd. Like it doesn't make sense to me and a lot of other people. So hopefully it changes.
We'll be watching exactly what the government does with the kind of letter that the Prime Minister has been written to. And of course, the industry is putting its weight behind it. A lot of stakeholders have signed on that letter too. Siddhant, much luck for the future. And thank you very much for joining us with your perspective on India tonight. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you. Bye.
All right, now let's